Hey y'all, my name is Shan. Welcome to Cozy Womb Podcast. This is a series for Black fathers because Black fathers matter. Black fathers matter to me. Black fathers matter to my children. Black fathers matter when it comes to my brothers, my mentors, my friends. They matter because they set the tone for who our children look up to. They set the tone for how men, women, children, and other elderly people feel protected, feel like, everything they've struggled for was for a good cause because they've seen who they've become. And I want to, I just want to shine a light on them and hear from them in a perspective that sometimes goes unheard because no one cares to ask. Sometimes people look at fathers as if, that's nothing. They're supposed to do that. Why would we, thank you for doing something you're automatically supposed to do? You shouldn't look for any, praise or any thank yous for that. That's standard. That's the basics. Do what you're supposed to do. But when you have a father that's there, that's consistent, that's available, that's attentive, that's caring, that's thoughtful, versus an absent father, versus a father that thinks his life and his now is more important than the child's future. There's a difference. There's a clear difference. And I just want to show appreciation. So this series, I've interviewed many fathers from different places, different backgrounds. And I really just want to pick their brains with different questions. So thank you for listening to Cozy Womb Podcast, and I hope you enjoy. Good morning, lovely people. It's Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. We have a third father on the line, and his name is Vstylez, and he has a background in so many great things. Such a great person, and I just want to share with you a few of our stories. This is a two-part segment with him because we just had a lot to talk about and discuss. So this is part one. I hope you enjoy, and peace. The Black business that I would like to rep today is going to be daviscandlecompany.sd.com. These are beautiful smelling, freshing, a good vibe soy wax candles made by a lovely lady named Joy, who is from Philly. So, I'm from Philly, she from Philly, we just out here being glorious. She packaged me some candles for my birthday, and they smell great. I love them. And also Black Girl Magic's room spray, which is amazing. So she is stocking back up on her scents. So if you guys are looking for some candles for your home to make it more homey, please check out daviscandlecompany.sdetsy.com, and please follow her at Davis Candle Co. on Facebook and IG. Now back to the episode.
Here we go.
Back to the show.
So don't be afraid to ask me anything. You won't trigger any emotion. What you gonna get is what you gonna get.
Okay, and that's what I want. I want your authentic self. All right, so let me just start. This is episode 3 of Cozy Womb Podcast, the Black Fathers Matter series, and I have Vstylez, and
What's up,
he's gonna talk about fatherhood. He's in music, Mr. Detroit himself. And we're not here to talk about music. We're talking about his experience in fatherhood. And so my first question for you is, how many kids do you have?
I have two. I have a daughter. I have a daughter that's 20, and I have a son that's 15.
Okay, so you a vet dad.
Oh yeah.
You've been in this thing for the long haul. All right.
Yeah.
And your age currently?
I'm 48.
And you feel what age?
I'm in better shape now than when I was in the Marine Corps. I probably feel about 27, 28.
That's good.
Yeah. Normally, I'm gonna tell you something. Normally, I don't even like talking about age because you know how it is. You know, when you're a certain age, you're not supposed to rap, and
yeah.
I've gotten over that, man. I'm good.
I don't think that's a thing unless you get worse than you were in your 20s.
See, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's almost like Benjamin Button, like I'm reversed. Like, you know, it's weird. It's weird because I wasn't dope when, you know, I know we get on topic, but I wasn't in my 20s and 30s. I was scared. Like being around people like Proof and my man Lo Lewis, last ones. Like you scared around here, and it didn't get into a point. It got to a point for me to where I was like I seen like the best show I ever seen in my life is Leaders in New School. And it also happened to be their last show. You know, they broke up. Like they had a show in Detroit, and then they broke up, and Busta went solo after that. So like I grew up a big Leaders, Bumpy Knuckles, Redman, like same vibe I'm on now. I've always been this person, and that was the night that I said I could do that. It inspired me to, you know, I wasn't always Vstylez. I was a couple names, Rough Draft. It took a minute before I found who I was.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just weird because as time went, I started progressing and I started getting better the older that I got, and I still feel like super youthful. So, you know, I work out religiously.
I know, I've been seeing you. I'm just like, he at it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, the older you get, and I've been around, I'm super blessed to be here. I've been shot, you know, bullet went in right here on the side of my face, and it went out the back of my neck.
Oh wow!
So I've lost a person that I thought that I was going to marry to suicide.
Wow!
This was before I had kids. So, you know, I've been through. You know, I'm a veteran of the Marine Corps. I've been through a lot. Martial artist. Like my makeup is a little different. I have a zillion different friends, all walks of life. I love people. I don't like people that don't have high integrity. If you got character flaws, you got to get away from me. You know, I've tried to love people, but sometimes you got to move people out because if they're not helping you grow, it's like, okay, yeah, we do music or we do whatever, but that's, I'm talking about real stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of loving at a distance with some people.
For me, look, you can love at a distance. For me, I don't even do the distance no more. Sometimes it's just best to, you know, everybody don't have an expiration date, but some things do. Sometimes it just expires, and I'm more happy being this free-for-all person that speak his mind and just love doing what I'm doing without any limitations. That's the best thing in life, when you can just be who you are, and you know, you don't have people, you know, because I've been on labels before. I really experienced like a lot of things, man. But I'm most happiest at life, you know, being pop. You know, being dad is like you can't even. You got little ones that love your drawers just for the sake of loving your drawers, and they probably don't even know why they love your drawers. But,
Yeah.
you know, they love you so much to where, like, I've been needing as I've gotten older. I've never been married. My kids have two different moms. Always, like I'm my dad's child. You know, my parents are still together. You know, they've been married forever, 50 plus years or whatever.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. I've watched that. I literally want to be my dad, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that for some people. But ultimately, the one thing that I can control is being pop, regardless of the bullshit, because you got to get over yourself. Once you get over yourself, once the parties get over themselves,
yeah,
everything else should be so simple.
Yep.
You know, it's not for, you know, a lot of people, but when I hear a lot of people with the baby mama drama stories or the bad father stories or however you want to call it, I ain't really had, you know, I ain't had that shit. Excuse me, French.
That's good.
So, I don't want to get political, but I ain't the biggest Hillary Clinton fan. But she said something that resonated. It, you know, and you know, I still use it. It do take a village. You know, you can't just expect one party to, you know, do something, especially if she's not the only person that's responsible for that. So, you know, these days, when I look at my kids and knowing the relationship that I have with them, like my daughter, man, she's super protective of me. Same way that I've always been protective of her. We've had, and she's my first. She was a friend. Can I say a little something without, you know? This might sound a little ignorant or dumb to some people. I hope this doesn't, you know, offend people. I really don't care. I'm a big fan of, you know, Spike Lee movies. I love Spike Lee. And my favorite Spike Lee movie is called Bamboozle. Okay, you ever seen Bamboozle?
Yeah.
There's this character in there, and the character didn't have that many lines. He didn't even say nothing, but you always seen him when the Roots was playing, like a lot, you know, the little minstrel show band. You know, there was this character by the name Little Nigga Jump. You know, look at Little Nigga Jump. So I've literally called my daughter that for 20 years. And that's our shit, and don't nobody understand except for me and her. Now, the older I've gotten, you know, I kind of like freak it a little differently. It may not be Little Nigga, but it's Jim. Come on, don't do that, you know. But that's my, you know, her mother, like, you still call her that. I'm like, that's our shit, you know.
Yeah.
When like she go to her home, like I'm a dad, man. My kids are like everything to me. Like the moments you can't pay for certain moments, man. Like homecoming, prom, first dates. I'm involved in all that type stuff because I kill for mine. And
of course.
My daughter is. You look at her, you see me. You see that picture up there? That's me. So, I've always been a little harder on her because at the end of the day, you know, first off, she taught me because I wasn't always the greatest guy in the world. Not a bad person, but sometimes you don't realize is that, you know, sometimes you don't realize that the choices that you choose to make for whatever reason might affect somebody else. So having her change my whole steez, it taught me to be a little bit more respectful. To I can't be like this no more because I got to think like my daughter, you know. So it completely changed me as a man, and I might get a little teary, you know, but oh, my baby, you know, my daughter is everything to me, and you know, to see her now and seeing her progression in life, because I never wanted her, you know, you just want, like any real parent, whether it's male, female, any real parent just want their kid to be better than what they were.
Right.
You know? So my daughter, yeah, to see her now, yeah, we having a lot of fun, man. We ain't had rocky moments, a lot of rocky moments, but I can say that, you know, if ain't nobody got me, Jim got me, you know, and my son, you know, my Cam, you know, we are collectively, all three of us, we are the home team. That's our base. That's what we call each other, home team. Like we get together, home team. You know, that's you know, that's our shit. I'm a big Rocky fan, man. So I get that from Rocky, man. I've always said that to Cam, and then of course, you know, Autumn, she's proud of it. So being able to, you know, having my girl super dope, switch me up, but then having my son, and I really believe this because my dad I got three sisters. My mom, you know, had my older sister before my dad. My dad's first, which to me, you know, I love my dad. My dad is like my first hero on everything. He a Marine, I'm a Marine. I don't even like talking about this shit, but I'm gonna say it. Yeah. I work, my dad retired from the sheriff's department. I worked for the sheriff's department. I wasn't a certified police officer. I worked in the jail, more so in administration. And like when people come in, I would book them, fingerprint them and stuff like that. You know, I had a gun, but I never went to a police academy. I had like a permit to carry a gun, but I wasn't like the police, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's like what they call central booking. And, you know, all I ever wanted to do was be my pop. So, looking at Cam right now, he mimics me a lot, you know, and I can remember, I'm like, like, my experience with Cam and Autumn is completely that. Like, Autumn is me all day because she's rebellious, and like we would bump heads, and I would like pull my hair out, like, man, why is this happening? You know, because I'm there. You know, me and her mom, you know, like I said, when you get over yourself, like her mom is like one of my best friends. Like, she's known me half my life. So she remarried. That's cool, but that don't mean she, you know, like we still like this. And I'm cool with her husband. So, you know, it makes it super easy. With Cam, similar experience. Me and his mom, it kind of happened quick, and that happened. And Cam was here, and you know, once your kids is here, you don't care nothing about. If you're a real parent, you don't care nothing about nothing else. You just want to be that example for your kid, man. So I'm just super lucky to where we all love each other's draws.
That's good.
And I've watched my son. I can remember when he wasn't the most confident kid. He played sports, but he was the kid that never got time playing football. He never got time playing basketball. yeah, he did track and field, but I get it. You want to be the man and something,
Spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah, you want that. And sometimes it don't work out like that. And I grew up wrestling and taking taekwondo, man. So my background is like when you see me. I don't know if you ever see me with MMA guys and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I love that just like I love hip hop. They all equal. It's all equal to me. I love fighting the same way I love doing music. Cam, like in the super fourth quarter before going into the ninth grade, and he is in eighth grade, and he says, "Dad, if I'm bouncing around too much, let me know."
Go ahead. It's like the questions I'm going to ask you're answering anyway, and which you're explaining, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. So Cam, at the end of basketball season, he was like, "Dad, I want to try wrestling." And I'm like, I look at him, and I'm like, "Dog, I've been trying to get you to wrestle since you was 4 years old, but you want your son to be like you, and you want your daughter to be like you. But ultimately, it's their choice on what they want to do. So you can't hamper them on what you see them. You just gotta let them be them. And then, if they decide they want to do something, then boom, that's when I open up and be like, okay, well, we can do this." Mm-hmm. My son was like, "Dad, I want to wrestle." So I look at him, I'm like, "Dude." And I said it just like this, 8th grade. I'm like, "Dude, why the fuck is you coming at me like before, like I'm like, are you kidding me?" Because here's the difference. When you're black and you grow up differently as compared to white kids, their advantage is a little different when it comes to sports like hockey and wrestling, because they're doing that at 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
So if you're starting wrestling at like 12, 13, the learning curve is just so here to where unless you get it, it can be a very embarrassing experience for a man or a young kid that wants to wrestle, So I didn't want to tell him no. I was like, okay, man, yeah, we can do it. So I started going to his matches. Mm-hmm. And this little motherfucker proved me wrong. I'm talking about like, and it's look, as a father who grew up wrestling and still do it, even, I have a youthful exuberance, but even at my age, I still do the same type stuff. I still spar, I still wrestle, I still do jujitsu. I mean, I do all the things that I've always done because that's what keeps me in shape. I'm happy I can look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I did that. I know people that ain't my age that's
right.
looking at them like, come on, man. I mean,
yeah.
So to see my son be, like, he'll be a junior coming up in September, but to see him not only become successful, but to him he has a real good chance to get a ride. Mm-hmm. Whereas he had no confidence. Excuse the French, I'm about to say this, but I don't care. He had no confidence in the nigga sports, basketball, football, because that's what we known for. We known for basketball, and I don't mean it literally, but I'm just saying.
But it's true, and I feel like we need more black boys and men to fill up those spaces of hockey, fill up those spaces of wrestling, fill up those spaces of what is it called? Fencing. We have to, or else we cancel ourselves out.
We had a couple black world champions in fencing, and if I'm not mistaken, the last gold medalist was a fencer. I think they were black. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think that happened. But we don't. Oh wow, I love that Doom paint too. That's dope.
Oh yeah, I painted that when I was pregnant.
You painted it?
Yeah. I love MF Doom.
No.
Yeah.
So to watch my boy right now, like my son know he the man, and it's the dopest shit, and it's the cool because he didn't have that. Like when your kid in pain, you in pain. I don't care who you are. If your kid is fucked up, then you go feel a certain way. Like there's many days where we come in on Saturday and he got the boo-boo face because he didn't play. Oh man. I go in my room and I just be livid. I want to fuck the coach up because you hurt my.
Because you know how good they are and they just need that space. And when people don't give them that space, it's just like, man.
Well, you know what? It's not about the good. What it's about is when you're that age, it's about building the character up. You gotta make them believe that they can do it. Mm-hmm. So when you're not giving that, this kid is on the team, but you're not giving him reps and showing him what he can do to be better. Like, you know, sometimes you only get one shot, but how many times do we take each person and give them the same opportunity and help them? That's the problem. I mean, we seeing this shit today. We seeing this literally today, what's going on in society. Like we feeling oppressed because we haven't been given the same opportunities and stuff like that. So you want to give a kid a chance, man. The worst thing anybody can ever be is a dream killer, period. When my mother was a dream killer. My mother used to shit on me like, why are you doing that stupid rapping? Why are you doing martial arts? Why are you wrestling? My dad is probably my biggest fan, you know, and now it's funny because she's seen I've done some things and because Lando, like, man, fuck out of here. And I love my mama, but I don't know. Look, you'll get a chance. See the video, Mom and Pops, that I did, man. It's like that whole song and video is real, you know. But my mom always been a dream killer, man. So to see her like now, like, it's like, man, where you been all these years?
But you have to think where they came from. That generation that raised her, their dreams were killed, so they kind of pushed that on her. And so they say, you know what, that doesn't make money. That's not important, so that's stupid, so you need to downplay it. My father was the same way. My father was born in 1923. My mom was born in 53. So my mom is very encouraging. And my dad, and my dad is very like, what you want to do? That don't make no money. That's stupid. You need to do this. And if you don't do what he want to do, he kind of like disowns what you want to do in life. And that was just his attitude. So that's normal.
I spent my whole life, a good portion. Well, no, I take that back. I spent my whole life living for my parents. I gave up a partial wrestling scholarship to Fair State here in Michigan. It's about 4 hours from my mother, but 4 hours wasn't long enough for me, man. So I went down. Yeah, it's real. I went down to Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's weird because I used to have classes with Shaq when he was at LSU. He had a class at Southern University. He had a math class at this building called T.T. Lane, and I used to remember him pulling up in a four-door Isuzu Trooper, and they didn't have no back seats. And he had like the old school phone, like the carry board, like. And look, getting off subject again. Same dude that you see now is the same dude that was in school. Like all the comedy, or like very first 7-footer I've ever seen breakdance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I had to get away, and I was at Southern a couple years, but then I'm like, man, I why am I here? You ever did something and you just like, why am I here? Why am I doing
That was me. 4 years of college. I loved 2 and I hated 2, and I can't tell you which ones I like. But now I feel like I wish I never went to college because it really didn't push me anywhere. I would rather have the money and invest it in a business than now I'm working a job to pay back loans that I have for college. That's not getting me anywhere.
Man, let me give you a hug. I feel you on that.
Yeah, man, it's a trap.
Wait till you get that bill though. When you clear free from your loans, like that's
I'm
one of
I'm gonna be balling.
Yeah, that's one of the best feelings ever. Like you feel just free and clear. But I felt like going to school, I was doing that for my parents because it was the whole, you be the first one to graduate from school, da 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 da, and that's pressure. You know, I went in trying to please everybody else except for myself, and it was a journey that I really appreciated, man. But after everything was said and done, it was like, man, I ain't doing this. But I didn't. The one thing with me, and still to this day, my father is my hero. So I never want to ever look. I don't want him to ever look at me as a failure. You know. So I, went home, and I remember growing up, everything was Marine Corps, and I was like, man, I know how to make my dad proud. I'll join the Marines. Now I say this, easily the greatest achievement next to my kids that I've ever experienced in my life. I got a chance to travel the world, different cultures. It made me open my eyes to kind of what was really real when, it made me think like I regretted, not necessarily regretted going to a black college, but going back, I was like, damn, I should have took that scholarship. Because you got to prepare yourself for a world that's much more diverse. Yes. Than just us, but yet still be aware of what we got going on. Yeah. We can never lose our awareness, because when you start losing out on that, you end up being like.
That's why we here. That's why people are out there protesting in the streets for the same thing they did like 30 years ago. That's why.
When I worked in Wayne County, I worked with a lot of undercover Klansmen. And the only reason they thought I was cool, I'm still the same dude. I rap. I'm always traveling, either doing music or involved with MMA events. But I was the outspoken dude that if you did some whole shit around me, I called you out and I held you accountable. And you got a lot of people that, right now, they're scared to talk about that. That's like the thing. It's like because they don't want to, they don't want to step on no toes, or they don't want to ruin their career. But I gave no fucks about hurting people's feelings. So when you do stuff like that, you get a reputation that, oh, he's an angry guy, or so don't nobody want to work with you, because then like they forced to work with you, and then after dealing with you a couple times, it's like, dang man, can I ask you a question? Why is it this? And then you explain to them why. It's like, wow, man, well, I'm glad that so it's like, people will paint a picture on how you are and not even know you just because you call whole ass shit out. And I'm an equal opportunist, I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to, whether you white, whether you black, I don't care what color you are. If you do something you do some whole ass shit.
But that's what it needs to be though. In any
you'll get Look, you will get alienated. Like people, they will label you as this person, and after a while, my dad had retired, and it got to a point for me is, I'm like, man, why am I here? I don't even like none of these things, So I was like, man, you know what? I don't know how this gonna happen, but I'm gonna work out a plan. So I told some of my partners, and which I shouldn't have, because you don't ever want to tell nobody your plans. They're looking at me like, man, you've been here too long. You're not gonna. Yeah. I'm like, dude, okay. I'm like, whatever. Wind up, get a job at Chrysler. So, and the pay is cool. I took a pay cut, but it still manages. It still worked its way out to where I'm still getting. It's like I'm not missing the beat, if that makes sense. And I'll be making more, probably about 2 more years than where I was at when I left. So I'm super happy. Like life-wise, I ain't, there's certain things that you miss out on, man, but I'm cool, and to be able to have a relationship with, like the home team, they're literally everything, man. So, okay, I know that's like the first question. So what's the second question?
You answered a lot for me, so I don't have to ask it, but were you already mentally prepared for your daughter before she was born? When did that happen for you?
Okay, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I wasn't always I wasn't a good guy. I mean, I was a good guy, but I did things that, look, okay, let me say this. I've never put my hands on women. I don't believe that. I grew up in a household where it was just me and my dad and my mother and my 3 other sisters. So I was raised in a household with women where I look at women a little differently. I love strong women. I love super intelligent women. But I don't believe in the hitting stuff. Like when you get to, like, you got to be like a low down, dirty person to. Now, don't give. Look, there are.
It's true. It's fact.
Yeah. Now there are situations to where, like, I'm not gonna let a woman, like, say if I'm not the violent guy, and then all of a sudden you feloniously trying to take my head off.
Yeah, like defense, I understand, but the threat,
you gotta come back to that, because it's like now, I mean, and women, I've never, Lando, I'm just saying. You ask my baby will tell you, Lando, I don't do that. I'll walk away before anything. But if anybody trying to feloniously take my head off, there is no gender. You got it coming. So, but just to do it on some sucker shit, nah, man. You know, that ain't how I was raised, man. I've taken a smack and turned around and walked away. Because you're not go getting away. Now, with Tanya, with Autumn's mom, like in our younger years, like Tanya was violent. There's been many days where like she'd try to she hit me with a phone one time. Like, oh wow! Had to go to work. My head was bleeding. It was in the morning, so I didn't even know my head was bleeding. I just left out the crib and I walked into. I had roll call. Motherfuckers laughing at me. I'm like, I've had to hold her a couple times, but as far as physically, nah, that's whack. So nothing can ever prepare you for a girl. And I was getting to this earlier, and I got off point. My dad, I'm his first. That lets me know that my dad had to be like the ultimate nice guy. Because when guys get boys first, that's the present. In my case, and this is just how I believe. when you get a girl, when you get a girl first, man upstairs or whoever you believe in give you a girl first, and you that male, and it's your first one, chances are you haven't been the best person when it comes to women. And with girls, like I said, you can never be prepared. You always have to think, I can't do that because of Autumn. I don't want to think like that because of my daughter. So once, like Autumn raised me. My daughter helped me grow up. My daughter helped me grow up so much to where it made me a better father for Cam.
That's good.
You know, so my daughter raised me. I tell her that all the time. That's why we super tight. She literally, like, she got my back, man, on everything. And we had some rocky years, man, because it, you know, especially if you, I can't put her shit out there, but when I know that I've seen this before and I'm trying to tell you don't do this because this is gonna happen, and you do this anyway, and then you have to experience it.
Girls gonna laugh naturally when you tell them, but I think, and I tell my brother this because my brother did it to me. He was like, "Man, you need to get out of that relationship, man." I'm just like, no. And then as long as they there to catch you, and that's all you can do. That's all dads can do and brothers can do is catch, because it's gonna happen.
My daughter, like, she's me. Like, oh man, yeah, she's me. So we had a situation one time, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a Cliff Note version without really going into detail. But we at the hospital, and the nurses, you know, came up to me and we were like, "Well, Mr. VC, you're gonna have to leave right now because you're making our patient upset." I'm like, "My daughter?" I'm like, "Man, fuck out of here with all y'all, man. It's my kid." My daughter looking at me like this, like while they talking to me, she looking at me like this. So you know, like when they give you that look, it's like, you know that she on some bullshit. I'm like, look at her, she on some bull. So they escorted me out. They had. I'm like, I work for Wayne County. He was like, well, you have to leave. I'm like, you know, and she looking at me like, she wasn't waving, but she was looking at me like, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that to this day. I was like, yeah, man, you remember that shit when you looking at me in the hospital? I forgot about that. I said, that's when I knew you got it. You know, when you gave me that look, I was like, I'm like, she manipulating the system right now, right?
Manipulating the system.
That's what she did. Like, she flipped it. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. But me and Jim have been through a lot, man. I think that's why, you know, I'm proud of her, man. She's experienced a lot, and we don't get no fucks. We don't care, you know. You know, yeah, we got each other. My boy too.
I was gonna name my firstborn Autumn because that's my favorite time of year. But I said, she needs something shorter, so I just named her Anya. Both of my girls got short names because I always hated my name being really long. So I was like, I'll just save it. But it's okay.
You want any more?
No, I'm done. I initially said I want like 13 boys, and then after I had the first one, I said, oh, nope. And then when the second one came, I'm just like, this better be a boy. And when it wasn't, I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm done. I'm done. You're not about to get.
I mean,
no. Lucky people get boys and then girls, or girls and then boys. People that aren't so lucky and think they trying to play master keep going for that boy or that girl, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna be it.
Yeah. I'm like you though. I'm happy with my two. As a male and thinking from a selfish standpoint, you always, like, every man want that boy.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't change nothing for the world, man, because Autumn, she prepared me for a lot of things, man. I think that's why.
That's that feminine perspective that men don't have.
Well, not only that, but you got to be selfless a lot of times, man.
Yeah.
You got to be selfless, man. My kid has taught me to, like, everything ain't about me. You know, and I'm a bachelor. I live by myself. It ain't nothing but me and my cat.
Yeah.
And I love life. But it ain't about me all the time.
Right.
When I'm with them, it ain't never about me. It's about, you want to create as many memories as you possibly can, man, because them type things always live forever, man. And, at the age I am now, just through my experience, I feel like I've really lived a complete life. And now I'm kind of like, I ain't on the back end of it. Now it's like, what else can I do? And I know my kid's gonna be there. My son likes to talk that old man shit until we work out. And then he runs out real quick. We were running. He came over here. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna run in tomorrow. He's like, I know, I'll get you. Okay, all right. So my son, he thinks because he's Mr. Wrestling Superstar that, he really got me. Okay, Nick. So we get to running, and about the first mile and a half, he way up there, about maybe 100 yards, about the length of a football field. And I'm running to my Queen, like, cause I've been listening to a lot of Queen, like Freddie Mercury.
Listen, the best, like, snippets and connections to hip hop came from Queen. Okay? I was like, okay. I said, I know what song this is, and I've been matching it, especially when that movie came out. I said, I didn't know they did this song. Amazing.
Look,
amazing.
Freddie Mercury is one of the coldest. Like, I got like that. I don't get caught up in, like, I got all type of friends. I got homosexual friends. I got friends.
Right.
That's what they are. So when I look at somebody like Freddie Mercury, like that motherfucker was like on a whole nother page with his shit. And to make me even appreciate it that much more, because I grew up to that. Mm-hmm. So to rediscover it again, it's like, wow, man. So that's like my running music. So Cam, he had me about 100 yards. He had me about a football field length. And I said, okay, man, well, it ain't a sprint, man. It's a jog. So, when I get to the halfway mark, don't be surprised what's going to happen. He was like, oh, old man. I'm like, okay. So we get to the halfway mark. By then, I already got my pace down. My wind is I don't know can I say this? Mm-hmm. But I chief. I can say that? Mm-hmm. I can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see. Only when I'm recovering from working out, though, or when I'm leisurely about to, do something like this. But there's no higher high than when your endorphins kick in. Like when you running, like a runner's high is like when the endorphins kick in. So when my endorphins kick in when I'm running, now I told him, I was like, dog, and I said it just like this. I was like, dog. I was like, my endorphins kick in, man. I'm gonna leave you, and I'm not gonna see you. I'm gonna have to wait on you to make sure you ain't kidnapped. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So sure enough, my endorphins kicked in. We was at the halfway mark, like 2.5, and I passed him. And all of a sudden I'm looking, and all of a sudden he just was looking like a more smaller stick man. So it got pretty far, and we got in front of my place, and I had to, like, I couldn't go because I had to wait. He was like way on the end, so I waited. I jogged in place to wait till he showed up. He was like, Dad, I didn't realize it was gonna be like this. I was like, yeah, man, your legs noodles, right? Your legs is noodles. Yeah, so he called me the other day. He was like, Dad, I had to sit and think about something. You really got me on that run. And I was like, I told you. I was like, when we start, I was like, when this COVID over too, we go get back on that mat. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna fuck you up there too. Just to let you know. I mean, because that's how we are. That's, I'm a gamer. I grew up playing video games, and I'm a gamer. So me and my son, we battle, on my PS4, and like, yeah, I have fun with my kids, man. They ain't like, all of our shit is moments, and no greater feeling to when my son comes over and he's like, Dad, well, what are you gonna make? Like, what you want me to make? Mm-hmm. He was like, well, you can either do your spaghetti or your salmon. I love your salmon. Like, I love cooking. Cooking is everything to me, man. Ain't nothing like preparing something and fucking it up afterwards, man. Right. But I had to learn getting in shape that I had to start eating the right food. So with practice, make a little perfect. So now it's like my son see that I cook, and that he's interested in learning that. So I get to show him that, to where like he's at a point now where he's liking girls. Like right now, that's like the whole...
Listen, that goes hands in hand, because we like to eat. The best thing a man can say to a woman is, "You hungry?" Yes, I am. Yes.
I love cooking, man. So to see him take an interest in that, I get a chance to show him, like, man, we'll do this, and do this, and to allow him to prepare himself and learn something else. I started, my dad told me how to cook. Man, I started cooking eggs about 5 or 6, just scrambled eggs.
Wow. And then I didn't learn, not that I couldn't learn, I refused to learn, because in my household, my family is primarily Jamaican. So
I seen that tattoo on your thigh. I was like, she Jamaican?
Yeah, so my grandmother and my grandfather was more so, my grandfather was call me when my food is on the table and the table set. And I've never seen him cook. And then my grandmother is cooking, cleaning. She had 13 of them. And then my mom repeated it, and my mom cooked every meal 3 times a day, on top of meals, set tables. I took care of all her 5 kids. And when my grandmother was trying to tell me a woman belongs in the kitchen. A man is not supposed to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, no. I said a man could clean. A man can sometimes cook. So I don't agree with that. So I would purposely go against the grain of being in the kitchen growing up. And my mom, she wasn't strict, so she didn't like give me an issue with it. I didn't start cooking until I was 26. Because if I came to my mom and I was like, Mom, I want some rice and peas, or can you make some oxtails, or can you do this? Instead of her say, come in the kitchen so I can show you how to do it, she was like, okay, I'll go do it. And for me, growing up, I should have known better, because my mom didn't believe in disciplining kids, but she loved kids. My dad was the disciplined person. Like, you need to do this and this and this for yourself. And because she wasn't that, I had to discipline myself growing up. So I didn't learn that until I was in my mid-20s. So it is important to have a parent that's about showing you how to do for yourself versus doing it for you.
Yeah, my dad used to give me free game. I just did not listen to it. My pop, you know, I went off to school. He was like, Orlando, don't get no credit cards.
Boy.
First thing I did was give me a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker was like, how you gonna pay it? And I was like, damn. You know, my dad would give me free game, but I just would never soak it in until it was too late. Mm-hmm. That's why that's my guy. Like my mother, if I got a credit card, how much you got on it? Let me borrow love. Get out of here, man. How about that?
Yeah.
My mom was, but I will say this. She taught me, like, I washed dishes. Like, life was about bleach when I cleaned up. Like, everything.
Mom loves bleach. I'm just like, girl, you gonna kill me.
The motherfucking eyes bleed. You know, you being like, my mother come in, she be like, I can smell it. I smell the mop, but I don't smell the bleach. It's like, oh, so not. Now you gotta clean the mop head before you put it back on the ground. It's like, this thing. But I'm thankful that I had women that, you know, like I said, I wasn't the best in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But, you know, having my daughter, man, it you know, I'm still me all day, but it's changed me to a point to where I won't even, if it don't matter, I won't even mess with it. Mm. You know, because you ain't, you know, these days you ain't into playing with nobody's feelings and stuff like that. Like,
some people aren't. Some people. Okay, some people feel like they got infinite time to play. So
I told you earlier, everybody got an expiration date. Everybody.
Very true.
And I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I got friends that, I mean, you have certain friends that they don't have expiration dates, but if they did something, one would pop up. I still got friends when I was kids, mm-hmm. You know, but certain people ain't here. Everybody ain't meant for the long haul. You gotta cut these motherfuckers off, man. Especially if you ain't getting no. If I can't grow from you,
that's my motto. You're not teaching me nothing. You're not. What are you here for?
That's my whole life. If I can't get nothing from you, if all we gonna do is talk rap.
Listen, even my kids show me results.
Okay. Look, and that's the beauty of kids, because even when you think you know everything, they go put you up on some more game.
Yeah. I
try to be like Charlie Brown said from Leaders in New School, when I'm old and gray, they go call me hip hop pops. Mm-hmm. I believe that. You know, meaning I'm always gonna be a hip nick. I'm always gonna be this hip dude. You're not gonna be able to, okay, whatever. You're not gonna be able to sway me, you know, because I know sometimes they hit me with one that I didn't know. Like, dang, really? That's what that meant. Like this, oh man, had this conversation. Maybe this is a sign of me being older. I don't know. But this whole no cap thing, no cap.
I hate it. Just say what you mean. Just say what you mean. I hate it.
What that mean, man? No cap. For real. Oh, this one right here, FR, for real, for real. Why you
I
gotta
hate that in text, okay? I hate that in text. I have so one of my daughter's dads, he's younger than me, and I hate talking to him in text because he relates to people who are younger than me, and I don't speak that. So I'm just like, call me and have a discussion, or FaceTime me, but I'm not texting you. And then I have the other one whose dad is 7 years older than me, so we can speak on a level where it makes sense, and we don't have to say a lot, but we know. So I appreciate people who know, and you can talk English and it's done. I hate the slang. I hate the abbreviations. I hate all of that.
Yeah, but to be fair, I have to look at how I mean, when you grow up in our culture, man, like I have a problem with the whole tight jean thing, but if you go back to when I was growing up, if you look at Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Melly Mel, one of my favorite MCs of all time, but he rocked leather pants many times, with kangaroo tails on his, you seen B Street, you seen it.
Right. But, I just feel like...
And that's my guy.
I'm still not trying to see your thigh muscles in your pants as a man. I'm just not. I'm not trying to be in the same size jeans as my man. I'm just not. That's not a goal. And it's hard to find a man that's at a level in his life where he's okay and secure with wearing his size clothing.
Man, I switch it up so much. I love dressing up just like I love just dressing down. Today it's like everybody got on I call it the rap uniform. Everybody got the same thing on.
I hate it.
Look the same. It's like you got the little choker chain on now with your little dumbass logo.
Just like they sound the same.
Oh God. And that's another thing about my kids. Like, with the whole rap thing, I'm lucky. I've been doing music a minute. Mm-hmm. I never really expected anything of it. Mm-hmm. But to be able to, garner any type of fan base or have people buy your records from here to there to places you've never been. I've been a lot of places, man. And to have people recognize my work, that's a whole nother high you can't explain, or it's like, wow, I'm super thankful. And I never tried to bring, like, Dad, that's who I am. I never brought Vstylez to my kids. So as they got older and they started being around me a little bit more, and, they do their own little research. I grew up, we had to go to the library for information, Now.
Give one of these new kids a dictionary, they're going to be lost. How you expect me to find it if I can't spell it?
I used to go to my father all the time. Yo, Daddy, how you spell such and such? And my dad is my man, because he's like Mr. Proper. He'd be like, Orlando, look it up in the dictionary. Yeah. And I just look at him, 6, 7 years old. I look at him like, nigga, why you can't fucking tell me? You know the answer. I gotta go on the, so. But I literally had to look in the dictionary where the information is right in front of them now, man. So, yeah, it's, whoo. They got so much that they can achieve compared to, how we come up.
At their fingertips.
Man.
They don't have to go anywhere to achieve it.
Nowhere. But it makes them lazy too. If the internet, I always say the internet is a gift and a curse. It makes them Oh no.
You okay?
You see me?
Yeah.
Cool. No. I don't like that. What is you doing? No. You still can see me though, right?
Yeah.
No, decline. Okay. Trying to. How we doing this? I'm trying to make you bigger again. I can't see you. Wait a minute. Hold up. There you go. Woo!
Boom.
Yeah, but information at their fingertips, and yeah, we ain't had none of that, man. So I don't know. I just think the world is theirs. I feel good about, where they both going. I told Autumn, she just recently got hired by 4. She started on the 15th. And I told her, it's up to you whether you want to do that. I'm like, but you easily can use it as a stepping stone to, to do anything you want. Don't stop there. There are no limitations. You start limiting yourselves and, you look up, time ain't waiting on nobody. So you gotta make moves. That's the one thing if I can go back, I wish that I would have somebody to guide me, kind of like I'm guiding my kids right now.
But that's the whole thing. Like I think parents are supposed to take what we needed from our parents and then give it to our kids, and also with the things that we got that were good and give it to our kids. Some people don't. Some people be like, okay, somebody didn't do this for me, so I'm going to be selfish and not do this for you because nobody did it for me. And that's the wrong way. You're basically going to raise a child that's going to come back to you when they're supposed to be an adult in a child form. And it's not going to help nobody, because when you get older, your kids take care of you. So if you don't raise them right to take care of you, you're failing yourself.
Look, you know what? I'm going to give you an example of something Autumn did for me. I'm kind of embarrassed to speak on it, but it is what it is. I'm going to give her a little shine right now. Last couple of years, I've hosted this event called Dilla Troy. It's our annual tribute to Jay Dilla. So, I called OC and I asked OC to come out and rock, and O came out and rock. OC's from New York. He's from Brooklyn. Digging in the crates, and he come out, and my daughter had just become of age, and she was like, "Well, Dad, I want to come to the show." So I'm like, "Wow, my daughter about to come to my show." It's a little different feeling for me. So I was just starting this journey on getting in shape. I think back then I was about maybe 180, 185, but I wasn't like where I'm at now. I used to weigh 220, so I was coming down. Mm-hmm. And my daughter, that particular night, I got blew out. Drink Hennessy, and I stopped drinking Hennessy because I drink Hennessy. I drink Tito's now. It's gluten free. Mm-hmm. But that night, I let my hair down a little bit. I had me some Henny, and I was lit. Mm-hmm. I remember at the end of the night, I'm driving everybody back to their hotels. Autumn in the back seat, and I remember pulling over. The next day, I woke up in the hotel room.
You don't remember anything in between that? Woo!
And I woke up frantically scared, freaked out, like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm calling my daughter. She not answering the phone. Call OC. It's like, what's going on? So O called me. He was like, yo, V, you had a good night last night. We all had. So, my daughter called me. She was like, "Yeah, Dad, I got you a room, and I took a Uber. I took an Uber home. I didn't, I didn't stay there. I just took an Uber home. You good?" She's more concerned about me, and I'm like, man, that shit will never happen again. I was like, but it's like that was like one of the moments where I was like, wow, my daughter will always take care of me if she's around, because she's super. She's always been super overprotective. But yeah, that was a crazy night. I couldn't believe I woke up not knowing what the hell was going on, and I'm looking. As soon as I got up, I'm looking for my daughter. Like, where's my daughter at? And she made sure Dad was tucked in before she dipped. Yeah.
Brown liquor is it gives you things. It gave me 2 kids, and I will refrain from it. I've never forgotten anything with it, but I've gotten souvenirs, and I'm good.
Tito's. What you drink now?
Water. Water.
You know what? Like when I'm simmering down.
Say hi and go.
Hi.
Hey, light skin, team light skin. How you doing, sweetie? Yeah, but I'm when I look at my kids, enough.
Go.
Mom got preference for light skinned people. Okay.
Listen. Oh man.
Now I wouldn't change nothing in the world in regards to both of them. We all complete each other. And they think about me like I think about them. And they feel about me how I feel about them. So don't nothing go down with either mother without me knowing. Like, I'm Dad. Like, I earned that title.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Like, I'm super sensitive about why the fuck do that person know? Like, that person don't know ever before me, So, yeah, I earned my title, man. I've been in the game too long to not love it. It's the greatest title you can get.
What to you makes a good dad?
Simple cats will say financial. I think financial is the furthest from everything. Caring, being attentive, being understanding, having patience, understanding sometimes it's not gonna happen overnight. It's a lot of makeup when it comes to being a parent. I know it was different when I was coming up. Hell, there's a lot of shit I had to teach myself. My mother and father, swear to God, they taught me about the birds and the bees, but I don't remember that shit. I remember learning about that by watching soft porn on Cinemax.
The grainy channels.
Watching movies like Porky's, and like that's when
I found out about Porky's, I watched every single one.
Look, the first Porky's is still one of the funniest movies of all time. Like, when there's so many gems in that movie. If you look at Kim Cattrall, and people don't remember that she played, I forget her name in the movie, but her AKA was Lassie. And people don't remember, it was like, well, why do they call her Lassie? He was like, well, just get her upstairs in the equipment room and you'll see. So they up there having sex and all you heard was, how? I was like, hell no. And me and my father watched that shit religiously, man. So that's like
when you were older, right?
I remember seeing that as a kid, and like my favorite TV show of all time, and I still watch it religiously to this day, is Sanford and Son.
I used to watch that with my dad when I was little.
Funniest show of all time, and Good Times only when the season James was on. I think he was on 1 or 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. But after James got killed off, I ain't really messed with Good Times, man. But Fred, next to my father, Fred Sanford and James Evans, they raised me in my household. So my daddy wasn't around. That's who I had. You know, it's funny because I get to turn my kids on to the shows that I grew up with. They were like, man, you fucking like, man, fuck out of here. Everything I watch is
man. My love for Richard Pryor started with my dad.
Richard Pryor, the GOAT.
Man, when he let me watch that. He would be up either counting his money or cleaning his gun, and we would be just up watching Richard Pryor.
I still think Eddie Murphy got him just by a little bit. Mm-hmm. Eddie Murphy a funny motherfucker, man. But Richard, like I'm a fan of Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and a person that don't nobody talk about to this day, Robin Harris. Remember Robin Harris? Robin Harris played in Do the Right Thing. He was the dude. He was the dude that was sitting with the shade with the other dudes. He was like, Kung Fu, give me one of them goddamn beers.
The one that was in the plastic chair?
Yeah, Bebe's kids. Look, he died before his time. But you talk about one of the funniest people. Oh my God, Robin Harris was hilarious. I like Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac is funny. I think Kevin Hart is a little overrated. I think he's down the corner. Old boy that got the perm. What's his name? He's funny. He makes me laugh. What's his name? With
Cat
the voice.
Williams.
Cat Williams. Yeah.
He need to get his life together.
You know, for me, it got to a point. Like, I can criticize a person all day, but I had to sit back and like, damn, man. Am I doing all the shit that I'm supposed to be doing? And, you know, because Cat Williams did a lot of fucked up shit. But, yeah. He still made me laugh a little bit. Bless you. You sneeze?
No, I dropped my water bottle.
You got that COVID over there, do you?
Nope.
What you do? You know, job wise, I'm curious.
Shoot, right now just stay at home with the girls.
You maintain very well.
Thank you. I just try to stay busy creatively. So with this podcast, I do 2 other podcasts. I'm working on a 4th book. Like, I'm trying to make it so I am my money maker, not someone else write my check. So yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
You know, I take that. I'm not gonna say being in the plant sucks. I'm thankful. Mm-hmm. I'm at a point now where I really understand the only reason I work is for my insurance. Ain't no, you know.
Listen, I miss it. That's the one thing I would say about a good corporate job. They got some great insurance. That Blue Cross Blue Shield, I miss you. But you know what? At the same time, I'm not trying to have no doctor be around me that been seeing sick people. So,
and look, as I've, you know, we all got our own journey, man. But I've learned that for every ailment, there's something holistically that we can use to.
Yes, but this Western medicine don't want you to know that. And so I've been juicing for the past 3 months. I've been like cleaning out my system, getting different herbs.
Great.
Thank you. And I'm just like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
You have to. And most people don't do what they got to do. They settle, and we not at a point where we can settle, man. Like every day should be some type of journey, man, where you want to better yourself instead of just. I mean, I like eating certain things. I mean, I used to be super extreme about everything that I kept in my body, but since I got down to a certain size, it's like I don't have to be so anal about it, man. I can dab in this and still be okay the next day. So you gotta, and I hate to say this, I look at my parents right now, and that's not how I want to be. Right. If that makes sense.
Right.
So they think I'm kind of crazy. Like, man, where are you? I'm trying to live. I'm not, I want to. I tell Autumn all the time, like, I'm too young to be, a grandfather. I know some 39, 38-year-old grandfathers. Lando ain't trying to be none of that.
Yeah. And even if you become a grandfather, don't mean you have to look like one.
I mean, okay, real shit, but I still don't want that. And I ain't about to be that.
Right.
That's what, look, when she got this job at this time, I was like, I was like, girl, you just, need to be thinking about no kids now. She was like, Dad, you always say that. I'm like, I just got to let you know that right now.
Yeah.
My son, he's so, everything now is, they're girls, and it's like, dude, you chill the fuck out. I know you the man now, but chill. Don't make me no fucking man. Man, look, I'm good. And look, I love kids. Kids are.
Me too, but the whole thing with kids is there is no right time to have kids. There is no right time. Every year it gets scarier. Every year it seems like the worst decision you could do with everything that's going on. But at the same time, it's like, if you die off and you have no one to take your inheritance or your work, what does it mean? What does it mean? Either you're going to donate it or it's just going to be collected. What does it mean? And my thing is, I had my first daughter from my mother. My mother is 66. She'll be 67 in 2 months. And she takes 13 pills a day. And she has 5 of us. And I'm the only girl and I'm the youngest. And all of my brothers have double kids, 4 kids. And I didn't have any. I'm just like, I don't want to miss the chance for one of my children to see her as a grandmother, because she's great with kids. So I had my first for her. It wasn't really about me. I graduated. I moved to New York, like I said, and I was just like, Where are you originally from? I'm from Philly.
Really?
I was born and raised in Philly. Then we moved to Maryland. Then my mom's doctor said that because everything that was going on with her body does better in warmer weather. So he was like, either Florida, California, or back to Jamaica. But she was like, I'm not going back to Jamaica. So she picked Florida. So we went down to Florida, and I'm just like, I don't like being here. I don't like knowing my every day is going to be the same. So I picked a relative, and I was like, I'm going to Atlanta. And so
Florida?
Melbourne.
Okay.
It's like closer to Palm Bay, about, I want to say, an hour and a half from Orlando. It's just too boring, but old people love Florida. So that's where she is now. But still to this day, I'm yin and yang on marriage. And I didn't want to count on a relationship dictating if I have children or not. So my 2 girls, they out the way. I don't want any more. And that's it. So now I feel like if a relationship happens, it happens. If a marriage happens, it happens. But I'm not banking on it like a lot of women. A lot of women are banking on this full package. I need a career, I need a husband, then I can have kids. And it don't work out like that for a lot of people, especially with the stuff they have in foods, where a lot of women have fibroids. When they want kids, they can't have them. I have a lot of friends and family that suffer with fibroids, and they can wait, do it the right way, get married and now they really can't have kids, and I'm just like, I don't want to be stuck in that construct. So I feel like I freed myself. So yeah.
My dad used to always when Cam came, my father looked at me, he was like, Orlando.
Your father talks like my grandfather.
Like the most proper black dude you ever meet in your life. I mean, I love my dad. I wouldn't change him for the world, but he is. But he says, you don't have to be with the woman to be a good father.
Man.
Because when you try to make something work when it's just not natural, you wasting time, especially you wasting time knowing the most important thing, that you're not happy doing this. Mm-hmm. So when my dad told me that, like, it was like almost like a moment of clarity. Like, so things wind up happening to where me and my son, mom, wind up breaking up. Mm-hmm. And we still cool. Like I get called.
I believe in that though. I believe that parents can parent and be great separately. I don't feel like it has to be this unit. They need to see.
Always bitter though. Normally, somebody is bitter, whether it's the male or the female, to where they don't get an opportunity to allow that bond to happen, and that's what fuck a lot of stuff up sometimes. Like when it ain't about you no more, doors will open. Yeah, when it ain't about you no more, a lot more doors will open.
Yeah, it's a different type of peace, and you can respect the other person by not knowing about their life, because the only conversation I have for you is this kid that we share. That's it.
But I will say this. My doors is open to both of them. Not on that other level. When you know somebody a good portion of your life, you do kind of become friends. So there's nothing Tanya can't ask me, and there's nothing Monica can't ask me. We still have, if Tanya and Monica both know that if I need to call Orlando, I know he'll be there. And that's the type of relationship I have with both of them. And I'm blessed. And it's not even on no creeping level. It's just like we friends. Like after a while, man, all that other stuff don't even matter no more.
Sometimes you get a parent that's mature enough to welcome that, and then you get a parent that is not mature enough, and you can't let them know that door is open because they abuse it, and a parent that tries to manipulate that space. And so
because that's sucker shit. If you doing that, it's like you already got an angle, and angles are not cool.
Yeah.
I think we're all better now than what we were prior to our creations. To be honest with you, like we're friends. I can go to the cookouts. I can go to both their cookouts, and it's all love. Husbands give me dap. It's all love. We sit and kick it, and ain't no egos.
Yeah.
Because I'm dead. I get them props, but I also give them their props, knowing that they're dead. A lot of fathers don't give it up to I don't even like using the word stepfather, man, but they don't give it up to their counterparts, man, as far as the person that's there in your place, as far as where they're living at. You gotta respect them dudes too. Especially if you knowing that they doing for yours like they was theirs.
Yeah.
My dad did that with my older sister, and like we were raised, and I didn't know she had another father until we got older. I just always thought that that's my sister.
That's how both their dads are. Like, I don't have to worry about favoritism or what she got, what she didn't get. And to me, any children, if I'm at a park and there's 5 kids there and the ice cream truck comes and I have enough money for everybody,
they all get it.
Right. That's what you do.
It come with the territory. She has Autumn has a younger sister, and I treat her just like she's mine. I love that little girl. She see me, and she don't call me dad or nothing. But she know I'm Autumn's dad. Yeah. But she see me, and she give me a hug, and it's like the dope, like.
Thank you guys for supporting Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. When you listen, you support. And I just want you guys to know that I am thankful and I'm grateful. And when you listen, you support myself, you support my daughters. When you buy anything from Cozy Womb Shop, you support. And I appreciate it. You could have picked any podcast and you're here. Please visit us on Cozy Womb on Facebook, Cozy Womb Pod on IG, Cozy Womb Pod on Twitter. I would love to hear from you, and I hope you guys have another teachable day, another productive day, and you just keep things in motion. I know things feel very weird right now with this quarantine going on, but we can do it. Peace. Bye.
Bye. What's so special about Hero Bread's soft, fluffy, and delicious breads, buns, and tortillas? These ultra-low net-carb baked goods contain 0 sugar, fewer calories, and more protein than the leading brands, and are high in fiber to support gut health. Shop now at hero.co.